In this video, I'm about to show you 30 Walmart foods that are slowly but surely doing more bad than good for you, and 10 that are genuinely good for you, starting off with number 30, boxed great value, mac and cheese. Every Walmart has it. Those cheap blue boxes stacked high, and for under $1, it feels like a steal. But here's the thing. Boxed mac and cheese have a history built on cutting corners. Kraft first pushed it during the Great Depression, when families needed cheap calories fast. Walmart's great value version follows the same formula, only stripped down even further to keep the price low. The pasta? Refined white flour, processed to cook quick but stripped of natural fiber. The cheese packet isn't cheese at all. It's a lab-made blend of whey powder, maltodextrin, and sodium phosphates, with yellow 5 and yellow 6 thrown in to fake that neon orange cheddar look. In Europe, those dyes come with warning labels about hyperactivity in children. Here, they're sold as dinner for kids. And let's not ignore the numbers. Eat the box, and you're pushing 1,600 milligrams of sodium, nearly 3/4 of the daily max the American Heart Association recommends. Cheap comfort food? Sure. But it's comfort built out of fillers, chemicals, and salt. At some point, you've got to ask yourself, is saving 50 cents today worth paying for it with your health later? Number 29. Chef Boyardee canned beef ravioli. If there's one canned food every Walmart shopper recognizes, it's Chef Boyardee beef ravioli. And the funny thing is, it was never designed to be junk. Back in the 1920s, Hector Boiardi, yes, that's where the name comes from, was a real Italian chef who started bottling pasta so working families could afford something quick. Fast forward 100 years, and what's inside these cans has drifted a long way from what he'd serve at a restaurant. Open the label, and you'll see why. Each can packs 700 to 800 milligrams of sodium per cup, and most people eat the whole can, which doubles that. The beef filling? It's mostly beef, textured soy protein, and a long list of flavor enhancers. The sauce is thickened with high fructose corn syrup, modified starches, and preservatives to keep it shelf-stable for years. And here's the kicker. In 2017, Conagra, the parent company, faced lawsuits over misleading, no preservatives claims, even though the cans contained citric acid and other chemical stabilizers. So yes, it's cheap, it's nostalgic, and it fills you up. But when your beef ravioli is built on sugar, salt, and lab tricks, you start to wonder if Chef Boyardee would even put his name on it today. No, he'd roll over his grave. Number 28, pepperoni pizza. The thing about Walmart's great value pepperoni pizza is that it looks like a bargain, a whole pizza for a few bucks. But once you actually look at what's inside, you realize why it costs so little. The crust isn't fresh-baked dough, it's refined white flour bulked up with conditioners like monoglycerides, so it can sit frozen for a year and still rise in your oven. The sauce? It's padded with corn syrup solids and sugar to cover up the lack of real tomato flavor. Even the cheese is a blend, mozzarella mixed with anti-caking agents and preservatives, so it doesn't turn into a solid block in storage. Then there's the pepperoni. It's not artisan meat, it's processed pork and beef, spiked with sodium nitrite. The World Health Organization has tied nitrites in processed meats to higher colorectal cancer risk. And here's the kicker. Just 2 slices of this pizza load you with close to 2,000 milligrams of sodium, nearly your whole day's limit, without even touching the rest of the pie. So yeah, it's cheap. But it's cheap because they cut every corner possible, and your health pays the difference. Number 27, Banquet Mega Bowls. You ever grab one of those Banquet Mega Bowls thinking, all right, this will actually fill me up? Then you peel back the film, and what you've got is a mountain of soggy breaded chicken, noodles that taste like paste, and sauce that could pass for wall glue. Walmart sells these things by the cartload because they're cheap. But cheap doesn't mean harmless. Flip it over and the label will smack you in the face. 1,700 milligrams of sodium in one bowl. That's basically your salt budget for the entire day. Gone in 5 minutes. And the protein they brag about? Mechanically processed chicken mixed with binders, then drowned in sauce built from corn syrup solids, thickeners, and flavor enhancers to keep it from tasting like cardboard. They market it like comfort food, but the only thing mega here is the preservatives. Banquet used to mean Sunday fried chicken dinners. Now it means reheated salt bombs with a side of regret. If you actually want comfort, trust me, you're not finding it at the bottom of one of these bowls. Number 26, Totino's Pizza Rolls. I'll be honest, Totino's pizza rolls hit a soft spot for me. Who didn't burn the roof of their mouth on these things growing up? Walmart keeps them piled in the freezer aisle because they're cheap, fast, and kids inhale them by the handful. But when you look at what they really are, the nostalgia wears off quick. First, the filling isn't pizza. It's a paste of processed meat, imitation cheese, and sauce bulked out with corn syrup solids and hydrogenated oils. The crust, refined flour, and preservatives designed to keep the shell crisp after months in a freezer. And here's the kicker. A standard serving of 6 rolls has over 400 milligrams of sodium, but let's be real, nobody stops at 6. Knock back 20 or 30 inches in front of the TV, and you're easily swallowing 2,000 milligrams of sodium in a sitting, plus nearly 20 grams of fat. Oh, and those preservatives, BHA and BHT, are the same ones flagged in studies for possible links to cancer in animals. So, yeah, Totino's pizza rolls might bring back memories, but at this point they're basically nostalgia stuffed with salt and chemicals. Number 25. Hot Pockets. Hot Pockets are one of those foods that sound too good to be true. Bread, meat, and cheese all wrapped up, microwave for 2 minutes, and you've got lunch. Walmart sells them by the cartload because the idea is brilliant. The problem is what's actually inside. The crust isn't real bread. It's refined flour mixed with oils and conditioners, so it can go from freezer to microwave without turning to mush. Inside, you don't get pepperoni and cheese, you get a filling made from processed pork trimmings, imitation mozzarella, and thickeners like methyl cellulose to keep it gooey. One pepperoni pizza Hot Pocket has about 300 calories and 700 milligrams of sodium, and let's be honest, nobody eats just one. 2 of them and you're already brushing up against your daily salt limit. And this isn't just a nutrition issue. Hot Pockets have had multiple recalls, including a massive one in 2020, when Nestle pulled more than 700,000 pounds because of contamination. For a product that sells itself on convenience, that's a scary trade-off. The truth is, Hot Pockets aren't a shortcut. They're just a shortcut to disappointment. Number 24. American Cheese Singles. Walmart stacks these bright yellow packs right next to the real cheese. And that's the trick. They want you to believe you're buying cheese. But here's the catch. Legally, American singles like these aren't even cheese. They're labeled as a pasteurized prepared cheese product, which is a polite way of saying they're made from leftover dairy parts mixed with additives. Flip over the label and you'll see it. Instead of cheddar or mozzarella, the main ingredients are milk protein concentrate, whey, and milk fat, bound together with emulsifiers so it melts in that perfect fake way on burgers. The color, annatto and yellow 5, not natural aging. The result is a shiny orange square that looks like cheese, but doesn't actually behave like it outside of a frying pan. Nutritionally, one slice carries 250 milligrams of sodium and virtually no real nutrition, no fiber, barely any protein worth mentioning. And if you eat it the way most people do, stacking 2 or 3 slices on a sandwich, you've just doubled or tripled that sodium hit. It may look like cheese, it may melt like cheese, but deep down we all know this is cheese's cheap impersonator. Number 23. Oscar Mayer Bologna. Walk into any Walmart deli section and you'll see stacks of Oscar Mayer bologna sitting right there at eye level. It's one of those foods the store practically dares you not to buy. Cheap, familiar, and tied to childhood memories. Plenty of us grew up with bologna sandwiches, and Walmart knows that nostalgia sells. But the reality of what's inside those yellow packages is a lot less comforting. Oscar Mayer bologna isn't real deli meat. It's a paste of leftover pork, chicken, and beef trimmings blended with corn syrup, salt, and preservatives. The key one is sodium nitrite, which is what keeps that pink color and long shelf life. The World Health Organization officially classifies nitrite processed meats as a Group 1 carcinogen, the same category as tobacco. That's not internet rumor, that's international science. One slice carries around 300 milligrams of sodium, and nobody eats just one. Stack 3 or 4 on bread, like Walmart's ads practically show, and you're loading your body with salt and chemicals. The sad truth is, Walmart may sell it cheap, but cheap here means paying with your health. Number 22. Ballpark Franks. If there's one hot dog Walmart never lets you miss, it's Ballpark Franks. End caps, freezer doors, summer promotions, they make sure these bright blue packs scream all-American cookout. But flip one over, and the only thing patriotic about them is how shamelessly they cut corners. A single frank has around 550 milligrams of sodium, plus fillers like corn syrup, mechanically separated chicken, and of course sodium nitrite to keep that pink glow. The World Health Organization has been blunt. Processed meats with nitrites are a Group 1 carcinogen. That's the same category as cigarettes. Yet Walmart sells ballparks as if they're a harmless taste of baseball nostalgia. Nutritionally, there's nothing to brag about. Barely 6 grams of protein per dog, 0 fiber, and a pile of preservatives. And let's not forget the fat. Nearly 13 grams per frank, with half of that saturated. Grill up 2 or 3 and you're already blowing past what the American Heart Association recommends for a meal. So while Walmart wants you to picture sunny barbecues, the reality is less ballpark fun and more long-term health strikeout. Number 21. Great value hot dogs. Walmart knows people will always reach for the cheapest option, and that's exactly why their great value hot dogs are everywhere. They're usually the lowest price pack in the cooler, stacked right next to the buns, so you don't even think twice. But the truth is, these franks are the definition of cutting corners. Start with the meat, if you can call it that. Great value hot dogs are made with mechanically separated chicken and pork trimmings, basically whatever's left after the good cuts are taken. That paste is blended with corn syrup, flavorings, and sodium nitrite to hold the color and keep it shelf stable. The World Health Organization classifies nitrite processed meats as a Group 1 carcinogen. That's not alarmist talk, that's straight from international research. Nutritionally, one dog has around 480 milligrams of sodium and nearly 14 grams of fat, half of it saturated. Stack 2 or 3 on a bun like Walmart's own summer ad show, and you're swallowing close to your whole daily sodium limit in a single meal. Cheap? Yes. But with great value hot dogs, you get exactly what you pay for, and your health pays the price. Number 20. Hormel chili. Walmart shelves are lined with cans of Hormel chili, especially the no beans version. It's marketed as hearty, protein-packed, and perfect for throwing on hot dogs or nachos. But what you actually get in that can is far from the homemade chili you're picturing. Take a look at the label. A 1-cup serving delivers close to 990 milligrams of sodium, and most people don't stop at 1 cup. Finish the can and you're pushing almost 2,000 milligrams, which is basically your entire daily limit according to the American Heart Association. And the fat? Around 14 grams per cup, with nearly half of it saturated. The ingredient list reads like a chemistry set: mechanically separated beef and pork, textured vegetable protein, and preservatives to keep it shelf stable for years. There's also corn syrup solids tucked in there, yes, sugar in your chili, to balance out the salt. So while Walmart pitches it as a quick, comforting meal, the truth is you're getting a salty, fatty meat paste dressed up as chili. Call it convenience if you want, but let's not kid ourselves. This isn't comfort food. It's a can of high blood pressure waiting to happen. Number 19. Campbell's Chunky Soup. Walmart stacks Campbell's Chunky Soup right at eye level, and the marketing screams hearty and healthy. You've got NFL players in the commercials slurping it like it's fuel for the body. But let's cut through the branding. What's in the can doesn't live up to the image. A single can of Chunky Soup can carry 1,000 to 1,100 milligrams of sodium. That's nearly half the American Heart Association's recommended daily max in one sitting. And it's not like you're getting gourmet ingredients for that salt load. The beef is often tiny bits of processed meat bulked out with modified food starches and corn flour. The vegetables? A few soft carrot cubes and potatoes that taste more like mush than nutrition. Campbell's markets it as soup that eats like a meal. But nutritionally, it's the opposite. Low in fiber, low in vitamins, and overloaded with preservatives so it can sit on a Walmart shelf for years. For a product sold as fuel for athletes and families alike, it's ironic the only thing this soup is fueling is America's high blood pressure problem. Number 18. Great value, creamy peanut butter. Peanut butter is supposed to be one of those simple foods you can let your guard down and just trust. Just peanuts and maybe a pinch of salt. That's the whole point. But grab Walmart's Great Value Creamy Peanut Butter, and the ingredient list tells a very different story. Instead of 100% roasted peanuts, the first additions you see are sugar and hydrogenated vegetable oils. Those oils are added to keep the texture smooth and stop it from separating, but they also bring along trans fats, even when the label says 0 grams. By law, if it's under 0.5 grams per serving, companies can round down, which means you're still getting the stuff doctors have warned for decades contributes to heart disease. A 2-tablespoon serving also carries 190 calories, 16 grams of fat, and 150 milligrams of sodium. On its own, that doesn't sound terrible, but pile it on toast or scoop it with crackers the way most people do, and it adds up fast. What should be a protein-rich staple ends up as a sugar and oil spread hiding behind the word peanut. Walmart may sell it cheap, but you're not getting the peanut butter you think you are. Number 17. Jif Peanut Butter. For decades, Jif was the peanut butter brand families swore by. Choosy moms choose Jif, remember that line? Walmart knows the name sells, which is why you'll always find it stacked high alongside the bargain brands. But loyalty only goes so far when you look at what's really in the jar. First off, Jif isn't just peanuts. The ingredient list includes sugar, molasses, and hydrogenated oils, the same additives that give it that smooth, never-separating texture. Those oils may carry trace trans fats, even when the label says 0 grams, thanks to a labeling loophole that lets companies round down. 2 tablespoons deliver about 190 calories, 16 grams of fat, and 150 milligrams of sodium, which isn't disastrous, but it's not the pure, wholesome peanut butter image they sell you. And then there's the scandal nobody forgot. In 2022, J.M. Smucker Co. recalled over 9 million pounds of Jif peanut butter after salmonella contamination sickened consumers across the country. That recall swept through Walmart shelves nationwide, yanking jars people thought they could trust. For a brand built on family-friendly marketing, Jif ended up proving that even the most trusted name can turn toxic overnight. Number 16. Great Value Pancake Syrup. Walmart lines the shelves with this stuff, and they don't even bother to hide what it is. Pancake syrup. Notice it doesn't say maple? That's because there's not a drop of real maple in the bottle. What you're getting for a couple bucks is basically liquid corn syrup with a splash of artificial flavor. Check the label, and it's right there. High fructose corn syrup, water, caramel color, artificial flavor. That's the recipe. No maple tree in sight. Just sugar on top of sugar with caramel coloring that's been flagged in California for producing 4-MEI, a chemical linked to cancer in animal studies. 2 tablespoons will dump 110 calories and 24 grams of sugar onto your plate, and let's be honest, most people drown their pancakes, easily tripling that. The kicker? Walmart positions it right next to the real maple syrup, banking on the price tag to make you grab it without thinking. Sure, it's cheap, but all you're buying is a bottle of flavored corn syrup disguised as tradition. The sad part is, they call it syrup, but it's closer to soda in disguise. Number 15. Lucky Charms. Pick up a box of Lucky Charms at Walmart, and the label smacks you in the face. 12 grams of sugar in a single cup. That's nearly half of the daily added sugar limit recommended by the American Heart Association for women, and most people pour double that into a bowl. It's not breakfast. It's candy with milk. Those marshmallows? They're just sugar, gelatin, and artificial dyes like red 40, yellow 5, and blue 1. In Europe, those dyes require warning labels because of links to hyperactivity in children. Here in the US, Walmart stocks them at kid eye level, and the so-called whole grain oat pieces? They're stripped down, fortified after the fact, and offer little in the way of real nutrition. The sad part is, many of us grew up on this stuff. The commercials, the leprechaun, it all felt fun. But nostalgia doesn't change the fact that what's inside the box is a sugar bomb with food coloring. Magically delicious? Maybe. But let's be honest, it's magically dishonest when Walmart pushes this as a breakfast food. Number 14. Frosted Flakes. Walk into Walmart's cereal aisle and you can't miss it. Tony the Tiger, grinning from the box, telling generations of kids that Frosted Flakes are great! The message is clear. This is supposed to be energy food, something fun that still counts as breakfast. But the truth is, Frosted Flakes are just another sugar-coated trick. 1 cup packs around 13 grams of sugar, more than Lucky Charms, and about the same as a glazed donut. The flakes themselves are nothing but processed corn, stripped of fiber, then sprayed with sugar and fortified after the fact to make the nutrition panel look halfway decent. There's less than a gram of fiber per serving, meaning whatever energy you get hits your bloodstream fast and disappears just as quickly. Kellogg's leans hard on branding, but the numbers don't lie. A family-size Walmart box is essentially a sack of sweetened cornflakes that will spike your blood sugar and leave you hungry an hour later. For all the marketing about strength and vitality, What you're really buying is a children's candy cereal hiding behind a mascot in a sports jersey. Number 13, Doritos. Every Walmart snack aisle is stacked with Doritos, nacho cheese, Cool Ranch, spicy sweet chili, and let's be honest, they taste good for a reason. That reason is chemistry, not quality. Doritos are designed in a lab to hit every craving at once. Fat, salt, sugar, and a hit of artificial flavor that keeps you reaching for the next chip. Start with the seasoning blend. It's loaded with monosodium glutamate MSG, which makes everything taste richer and more addictive. Add in yellow 6 and red 40, food dyes banned or restricted in other countries but perfectly fine on Walmart shelves, and you get that signature neon orange dust. A single ounce, about 11 chips, packs 210 milligrams of sodium and over 8 grams of fat. But who stops at 11? Most people polish off half a bag without realizing it. And here's the trick. The flavor is engineered so it doesn't linger too long, something food scientists call vanishing caloric density. That's why you never feel satisfied. Your brain keeps telling you to eat more. Number 12, Takis Fuego. Walmart knows exactly who buys Takis, kids and teenagers. That's why you'll see the bright purple bag stuffed right at eye level in the snack aisle. The packaging screams fun, spicy, extreme. But what's inside the bag is less snack and more chemical dare. One small serving, just 12 pieces, has 420 milligrams of sodium and almost 9 grams of fat. And let's be real, nobody eats 12 Takis. Tear into a bag during a movie and you can hit 2,000 milligrams of sodium before you know it. But the bigger problem is what gives Takis their fire red glow. Red 40, yellow 6, and blue 1? A cocktail of synthetic dyes that Europe requires warning labels for because of links to hyperactivity in children. In the US, Walmart sells them by the cartload, often right next to the lunchbox snacks. The spicy kick comes from chili powder and artificial flavor enhancers designed to keep you hooked, but it's the combination of salt, fat, and chemicals that makes them dangerous long term. Number 11, Cheetos. Everyone knows the Cheetos experience. Grab a bag at Walmart, eat a handful, and suddenly your fingers are stained neon orange for the rest of the day. That mess isn't cheese dust. It's a mix of artificial coloring, whey, and flavor enhancers designed to cling to your skin and, more importantly, keep you licking it off so you go back for more. Nutritionally, Cheetos are about as empty as it gets. A serving has 160 calories, 10 grams of fat, and 250 milligrams of sodium, but nobody stops at one serving. A couple of good handfuls from the bag and you've doubled or tripled that without realizing it. And that cheese flavor? There's no block of cheddar here. It's whey protein concentrate, oils, and dyes like yellow 6 and red 40, both of which face restrictions overseas for possible health concerns. Walmart markets Cheetos as a fun snack, but fun isn't the same thing as food. You don't walk away satisfied. You walk away with stained fingers, a dry mouth from the salt, and a bag that somehow always ends up empty. Number 10, Pringles. There's something about Pringles that feels off the second you open the can. Real chips don't all look identical, but every Pringle is the same perfect curve, stacked like playing cards. Walmart sells that as convenience. No greasy bag, no broken chips. But when food looks that engineered, you already know you're not dealing with nature. That's because Pringles aren't sliced potatoes. They're made from a dough of potato flakes, wheat starch, and corn flour, pressed into shape, fried, and then dusted with powder. It's food built in a factory mold, not in a kitchen. And the once you pop you can't stop slogan? That's not just a catchy line. 1 ounce, about 15 crisps, has 150 calories, 9 grams of fat, and 150 milligrams of sodium. Eat straight from the can, and before you know it, half the tube is gone. The part nobody talks about? The frying process creates acrylamide, a chemical linked in studies to higher cancer risk. So yeah, Walmart may make it easy to grab a can for a few bucks, but what you're crunching on isn't a chip. It's potato paste shaped to trick you into thinking it is. Number 9, Great Value Microwave Popcorn. Microwave popcorn feels harmless. Throw a bag in, press a button, and you've got a snack in minutes. Walmart makes it even cheaper with their Great Value brand, stacked high in the snack aisle. But this one comes with baggage most shoppers don't realize. For years, Great Value microwave popcorn has been linked to diacetyl, the artificial butter flavoring that gave factory workers popcorn lung, a serious lung disease. Most big brands phased it out after lawsuits, but the point is clear. The butter on that great value popcorn isn't butter. It's a mix of artificial flavorings, hydrogenated oils, and additives designed to mimic the taste. Then there's the bag itself. Many microwave popcorn brands, especially generics like Great Value, have used coatings that contain PFAS chemicals, also known as forever chemicals, because they don't break down in the body. Research has linked PFAS to cancer, hormone disruption, and immune problems. And nutritionally, one serving can deliver 300 calories, 15 grams of fat, and 300 plus milligrams of sodium. And let's be honest, who eats a third of a bag? Walmart markets it as a family snack. In reality, Great Value popcorn is a chemistry experiment wrapped in paper, and you're the test subject. Number 8. Eggo waffles. You see those bright yellow Eggo boxes stacked in Walmart's freezer, and it's hard not to think back to the commercials. Lego my Eggo, it felt like the perfect breakfast growing up. But here's the thing. The only thing perfect about these waffles is how perfectly empty they are. Crack open the label, and it reads like a checklist for cheap food. Enriched white flour, high fructose corn syrup, vegetable oils, preservatives to keep them freezer stable for months. 2 waffles sound harmless, but that's 180 calories, 380 milligrams of sodium, and 5 grams of fat before you even pile on syrup and butter. And let's be honest, nobody eats them plain. Nutritionally, they give you almost nothing back. 4 grams of protein, 1 gram of fiber. The rest is sugar and starch that spikes your blood sugar and leaves you hungry an hour later. That's why Kellogg's had to fortify them with synthetic vitamins, because there's nothing naturally good left in them. Walmart sells Eggo like it's a quick, all-American breakfast, but once you take off the nostalgia glasses, it's just sugar bread in waffle form. Number 7. Jimmy Dean frozen breakfast sandwiches. You know the ones, the sausage, egg, and cheese croissants in the Walmart freezer. They look like the easy answer when you don't have time to cook, but heat one up, and what you really get is a soggy biscuit, rubbery eggs, and a sausage patty that tastes more like salt than meat. It's fast food without even leaving your kitchen, and it feels about as bad. Check the label and it makes sense. A single sandwich can hit 1,000 milligrams of sodium and around 20 grams of fat. That's not breakfast. That's half a day's worth of salt in a few bites. And the ingredients? The eggs are powdered and rehydrated. The cheese is a processed slice that doesn't even melt right. And the sausage is packed with sodium nitrite and corn syrup solids to hold it together. The box sells it like hearty fuel for the morning, but let's be honest, you're just eating a drive-through combo that's been sitting in your freezer. Walmart makes it cheap, sure, but cheap here means trading 10 minutes of cooking for a product that feels like it was never food to begin with. Number 6. Market Side Ranch. Walmart really plays games with this one. They slap the name Market Side on it, make the label green and farm style, and suddenly you're supposed to believe this is some fresh deli-made dressing. But twist the bottle around, and the truth couldn't be further from fresh. The first ingredient? Soybean oil. Not buttermilk, not herbs, oil. Then come the thickeners. Modified food starch, xanthan gum, guar gum. Even the tang doesn't come from fresh dairy. It's powdered buttermilk and artificial flavors. And one serving, 2 tablespoons, if you actually measure it, has about 140 calories, 15 grams of fat, and over 250 milligrams of sodium. The problem is, nobody uses 2 tablespoons. Most people drown their salad or pizza in it, tripling the numbers without even noticing. And here's the irony. Market Side is supposed to be Walmart's premium fresh line. Yet their ranch has the same additives and preservatives you'd find in the bargain brands. They sell it as homemade flavor, but it's really bottled chemistry with a parsley fleck or 2 tossed in to make it look legit. Call it what you want, fresh isn't the word that comes to mind. Number 5. Great Value Chicken Nuggets. Walmart knows exactly what they're doing with these. Great Value chicken nuggets are cheap, easy, and kids will eat them without a fight. But what you think is chicken breast in that breaded bite isn't what you're actually getting. The meat inside isn't whole cuts. It's mechanically separated chicken mixed with skin, fat, and trimmings that get ground into a paste before being reshaped. To keep it together, they add sodium phosphates and textured vegetable proteins. Then the breading is bulked out with refined flour, cornstarch, and flavor powders. By the time it's done, the nugget is more lab project than poultry. One serving, just 4 nuggets, clocks in at 190 calories, 12 grams of fat, and nearly 400 milligrams of sodium. nobody eats just 4. A normal plateful puts you at over 1,000 milligrams of sodium before dipping sauce, and if that weren't enough, Walmart's nuggets often contain MSG and autolyzed yeast extract to fake that savory punch that real chicken should have naturally. They're sold as comfort food for families on a budget, but peel back the breading, and it's clear. Walmart's nuggets are more filler and flavor enhancer than actual chicken. Number 4. Lunchables. Walk through Walmart's refrigerated section and you'll see Lunchables stacked in colorful boxes, practically screaming at kids to grab them. They're marketed as fun, convenient meals, crackers, cheese, meat, maybe a cookie or drink. But the reality is, Lunchables are more salt and sugar than lunch. Take the classic ham and cheese kit. One box has around 700 milligrams of sodium, almost half a child's daily limit. The meat isn't deli ham, it's processed pork loaded with sodium nitrite to preserve the color. The cheese isn't real cheddar. It's a pasteurized cheese product with emulsifiers and artificial color. Even the crackers are refined flour, bulked with oils and salt. And in some versions, the dessert alone adds another 8 to 10 grams of sugar. What's worse is how they're marketed. Walmart positions Lunchables as affordable, grab-and-go meals for busy parents. But what you're really handing your kid is a box of processed carbs, nitrites, and sugar that fuels nothing but bad habits. Convenience is nice, but not when it comes at the cost of teaching kids that chemicals and salt count as lunch. Number 3. Great value ice cream tubs. Everybody's grabbed one of these monster tubs at Walmart, $2 for what feels like a gallon of ice cream. How could you not? But the moment you actually scoop it, you realize something's off. It doesn't melt right, it doesn't taste right, and that's because it isn't really ice cream. Real ice cream is cream, milk, sugar, maybe eggs. This stuff? Flip the label, and it's a parade of corn syrup, whey, gum, carrageenan, mono, and diglycerides. A bunch of cheap fillers to replace what should be dairy. Carrageenan especially has raised red flags in studies for gut inflammation. No wonder the texture feels more like frozen Cool Whip than ice cream. And the numbers don't exactly make it better. Just half a cup, which is basically 2 spoonfuls, gives you 140 calories, 14 grams of sugar, and 7 grams of fat. But who eats half a cup when Walmart sells you a gallon-sized bucket? They call it ice cream, but it's really frozen chemistry. Cheap, sure. But if you've ever wondered why it doesn't taste like the real thing, that's because it isn't. Number 2. Market-side frosted sugar cookies. Every Walmart has them, those giant plastic trays of neon frosted sugar cookies, practically glowing under the bakery lights. And if you've ever bitten into one, you already know. It doesn't even taste like a cookie. It's a weird, soft sponge with frosting so sweet it almost burns. People joke that eating one gives you a headache, and honestly, they're not wrong. Here's why. Each cookie is about 180 calories, 17 grams of sugar, and nearly 10 grams of fat. Eat 2 or 3, which is how they're usually served, and you've basically chugged the sugar in a soda can. The softness that feels fresh, that's preservatives and gums keeping them squishy for weeks. The frosting that stains your tongue bright pink or blue, that's red 40, yellow 5, blue 1. Artificial dyes that Europe forces warning labels on because of links to hyperactivity. Here, Walmart just stacks them up at kids' eye level. And this is what frustrates people. Walmart knows these aren't real cookies. They're cheap sugar, cheap flour, and chemical frosting, sold as a party tray. You don't feel satisfied after eating one. You feel gross, jittery, and ripped off. And that gut feeling, you're absolutely right. Number 1, great value white bread. Most of us have tossed a bag of great value white bread into the cart at Walmart without thinking. It's cheap, it's soft, it toasts up fine, it feels like the easy choice. But if you've ever wondered why a sandwich made with this bread never really fills you up, you're not imagining it. The reason is simple. This isn't the kind of bread our grandparents ate. It's made from bleached, enriched flour, which means the wheat has been stripped of its natural fiber and nutrients, then enriched after the fact with synthetic vitamins. The result is bread that digests fast, spikes your blood sugar, and leaves you hungry again not long after. To keep it looking fluffy and staying soft on Walmart shelves, they add things like calcium propionate and dough conditioners. It's designed to feel fresh weeks after baking, but the trade-off is nutrition. Each slice has less than a gram of fiber, basically empty calories in bread form. It works in a pinch, sure, But if you've noticed this bread doesn't stick with you, that's not picky taste buds talking, that's the reality of what's inside. But allow me to remind you, not all that Walmart sells is worthless junk. Because here are 10 food items that are genuinely good for you and why. Number 10. Sambazon Organic Acai Superfruit Packs. Every once in a while, Walmart surprises you with something that actually lives up to the hype. Sambazon's Organic Acai Superfruit Packs are one of those rare finds. Instead of mystery ingredients or artificial fillers, what you get here is just organic, wild-harvested acai pulp, frozen straight from the Amazon. That's it. Nutritionally, a 100-gram pack has about 70 calories, 4 grams of healthy fats, and 3 grams of fiber. The kicker is the antioxidant content. Independent testing shows acai berries are loaded with anthocyanins, the same compounds that give blueberries their reputation, only in much higher concentrations. Antioxidants fight oxidative stress, which is linked to aging and chronic disease. Sambazon has even had their products tested for ORAC value, a measure of antioxidant capacity, and the numbers check out. Another plus. These packs are USDA organic, non-GMO project verified, and fair trade certified. That means no hidden pesticides, no weird additives, and ethical sourcing. Blend one into a smoothie or bowl, and you're actually getting the fruit itself, not a watered-down acai-flavored juice. Finally, a Walmart freezer item that isn't a trick. With Sambazon, what you see is what you get, and in today's aisles, that's rare. Number 9. Blue Diamond Almonds. Finally, a snack at Walmart that doesn't feel like a trap. Blue Diamond's lightly salted almonds are one of the few items you can actually toss in your cart without second guessing. Instead of a mile-long label of preservatives and flavor powders, the ingredients are simple: almonds, a touch of oil, and just enough salt. The nutrition backs it up. A 1-ounce serving, about 28 almonds, has 160 calories, 6 grams of protein, 14 grams of healthy fats, and 3 grams of fiber. Those fats are mostly monounsaturated, the same kind linked in Harvard studies to better heart health. They even carry the American Heart Association's heart check mark, which isn't easy to get. The lightly salted part matters too. At just 40 milligrams of sodium per serving, it's a fraction of what you'd find in chips or flavored snack mixes. You get the crunch, the satisfaction, and real nutrition without the salt bomb. And this is what people have been asking for. Something at Walmart that's simple, clean, and trustworthy. Blue Diamond may not be fancy, but it delivers what most packaged snacks don't. Real food that actually does your body some good. Number 8. Great Value. Organic Peanut Butter. Here's a surprise twist. We already dragged Walmart's regular Great Value peanut butter for being full of sugar and hydrogenated oils, but the organic version deserves a different story. This is one of the rare times Walmart actually gets it right. Flip the label and you'll see the difference instantly. The ingredients are just organic roasted peanuts, and sometimes a pinch of salt. No corn syrup, no molasses, no hydrogenated oils lurking under a zero trans fat loophole. Just peanuts in a jar. Exactly how peanut butter should be. Nutritionally, 2 tablespoons have about 190 calories, 16 grams of healthy fats, 8 grams of protein, and 3 grams of fiber. The fats are mostly monounsaturated, the same heart-healthy kind you find in olive oil. And since it's organic, you don't have to worry about pesticide residue on the peanuts. Yes, you'll need to stir it, and yes, it might separate in the jar, but that's the price of real food without stabilizers. And for once, Walmart isn't tricking you with a fake natural label. This is the rare, great value product that earns a spot in your pantry. Number 7. Bob's Red Mill Organic Steel-Cut Oats. Every aisle at Walmart has products pretending to be healthy, sugary cereals, protein bars, or instant oatmeal packets loaded with dyes and flavorings. But tucked away on the shelf, Bob's Red Mill Organic Steel-Cut Oats are the real deal. No gimmicks, no flashy claims, just 100% organic oats cut straight from the groat. What does that mean for you? Data says it all. A 1/4 cup dry serving has about 150 calories, 5 grams of protein, and 4 grams of fiber. That fiber is mostly beta-glucan, the soluble kind the FDA allows health claims for because it helps lower LDL cholesterol. Long-term studies from Harvard even tie regular whole-grain oat intake to reduced risk of heart disease and type 2 diabetes. And unlike quick oats or instant packets, steel-cut oats digest more slowly, giving you steady energy instead of a sugar spike and crash. They're also USDA organic and non-GMO project verified, so you're not dealing with pesticides or hidden fillers. It's simple, it's clean, and it's proof that sometimes the best thing in Walmart isn't flashy at all. Just a bag of oats that actually delivers what your body needs. Number 6. Kind bars. Walk down Walmart's snack aisle and most of those so-called nutrition bars might as well be candy. Flashy wrappers, words like energy or protein, but when you check the back, it's nothing but syrups and sugar. That's why Kind bars, especially the dark chocolate nuts and sea salt, feel like such a win. For once, the label actually matches the food. Take a look. It's whole almonds, peanuts, a little chicory root fiber, dark chocolate, and sea salt. That's it. No red 40, no high fructose corn syrup, no chemistry set pretending to be food. And the nutrition is solid: 200 calories, 6 grams of protein, 7 grams of fiber, and only 5 grams of sugar. Compare that to a Cliff Bar with 17 grams of sugar, and you realize this isn't candy in disguise. They're also low glycemic, which means you don't get that sugar spike and crash. Even the American Diabetes Association points to Kind bars as a better-for-you option. And the best part? They taste indulgent, crunchy nuts, a touch of chocolate, just enough salt, without the guilt. Finally, a bar at Walmart you don't regret buying. Number 5. Dave's Killer Bread, 21 whole grains and seeds. If you've ever grabbed a loaf of Walmart's bargain bread and thought, why does this taste like nothing? You're not alone. Most of those loaves are soft, bland, and leave you hungrier than before. That's why spotting Dave's Killer Bread on the shelf feels different. You don't even need to read the label. You can see the difference in every slice. Seeds, grains, oats, all baked right in. It actually looks like bread should. And the way it eats, hearty. One slice gives you real staying power, 5 grams of protein and 5 grams of fiber, which is exactly why people say it keeps them full through the morning instead of crashing an hour later. Plus, those omega-3 rich seeds give you nutrition most breads don't even try for. It's organic, non-GMO, and doesn't hide behind dough, conditioners, or preservatives. Yes, it costs more, but fans swear by it because you're paying for something that actually feeds you, not just fluffs you up. In an aisle where most loaves are imposters, Dave's Killer Bread is the rare one that feels like the real deal. Number 4. Phage Total 2% Greek Yogurt. Most of the yogurt cups at Walmart are basically desserts in disguise. Fruit purees, candy toppings, 15 grams of added sugar in something that's supposed to be healthy. But sitting quietly in the cooler is one of the few you can actually trust. Phage Total 2% plain Greek yogurt. The ingredient list couldn't be simpler. Milk and live active cultures. That's it. No added sugar, no artificial flavors, no dyes. And the nutrition is exactly what people want from yogurt but rarely get. In a single 7-ounce serving, you get 20 grams of protein, 6 grams of natural sugar from milk, not added, and live probiotics that support gut health. It's also lower in fat than full-fat versions, but with enough creaminess from the 2% milk to feel satisfying. This balance makes it a great option for people who want protein without the heaviness or the sugar crash. Phage has consistently tested clean in third-party reviews, and dietitians regularly point to it as one of the gold standard yogurts. In a Walmart dairy aisle full of gimmicks, this is one of the few that's exactly what it says it is. Real yogurt, plain and simple. Number 3. Wild-caught Alaskan sockeye salmon. You know that feeling when you're standing in Walmart's freezer aisle staring at all the seafood and thinking, can I even trust this stuff? Most of the time, the answer is no. Breaded fish sticks, mystery fillets, farmed salmon that somehow looks fake, it's hard not to feel skeptical. But the wild-caught Alaskan sockeye salmon is different. The color alone tells the story. A deep, rich red that doesn't come from dye, but from the fish's natural diet of krill and plankton. That same diet is what loads it with omega-3 fatty acids, the kind your doctor keeps telling you to eat because they protect your heart and fight inflammation. A single fillet gives you about 23 grams of protein and only 2 grams of saturated fat, and studies show wild salmon carries far fewer contaminants than the farmed kind. It's one of the few times Walmart isn't trying to pull a fast one. If you've been second-guessing the freezer aisle, this is the rare product where your instincts line up with the facts. Skip the breaded junk, grab the sockeye, and you'll actually be glad you did. Number 2. Great value organic black beans. Some of the best things at Walmart aren't flashy. They don't come in neon packaging or brag about extra protein on the front. Take the Great Value Organic black beans, especially the low-sodium version. At first glance, it's just a can. Nothing exciting, but here's the thing. This is one of the smartest buys in the whole store. For less than $1, you're getting a food that's naturally packed with plant protein, fiber, and minerals. A half-cup serving brings in about 7 grams of protein, 6 grams of fiber, and almost no fat. The low-sodium label matters too. It cuts the salt load almost in half compared to the regular can, so you actually control the seasoning yourself. And because they're USDA organic and non-GMO, you're not dealing with pesticide residue or weird additives. It's just beans, water, and salt. That's it. They may not look exciting in the aisle, but these cans punch way above their weight. While most of Walmart's shelves are filled with gimmicks, this is the rare staple that's cheap, clean, and genuinely good for you. Number 1. Great Value Organic 100% whole wheat bread. Most people know the drill with Walmart bread. It looks soft, it's cheap, and it disappears in your mouth without ever making you feel full. But then there's the Great Value Organic 100% whole wheat bread. And it's one of the rare times Walmart actually puts something on the shelf that does what bread should do. Instead of bleached, enriched flour, this loaf is made from 100% whole wheat, which means the bran and germ, the parts that carry fiber, vitamins, and minerals, are still intact. That's why each slice gives you around 3 grams of fiber and 5 grams of protein. It digests slower, keeps you full longer, and doesn't spike your blood sugar like white bread does. It's also USDA organic and non-GMO project verified. Translation: no pesticide-treated wheat, no chemical dough conditioners to keep it soft for weeks. Just bread made from real whole grain. It's not flashy, and it won't jump out at you in the aisle. But in a section full of loaves that feel like air, this is the one that actually delivers substance.